So we've been to the vibrant neon shores along the city of Chaipan. We've seen the cold, hard, desolate wasteland of the Siberian Novosplovo. But now, it's time to take all that we've learned from these previous City Skylines playthroughs and start something new. So grab your shorts, your craziest Hawaiian shirt, pour yourself a pina colada, because we're taking a trip to Tropicoco. Tropicoco, down in Tropicoco, where the pineapples taste really good. I don't know if they taste any better here. Right, so we're starting a brand new City Skylines playthrough, and it's on a tropical map called New Caledonia. We've got a brand new asset collection for you to check out, and here is a quick taste of some of the things we've added to this collection. So the map we're going to use for Tropicoco is called New Caledonia by Mr. Miyagi. I don't know if you've ever seen The Karate Kid, but yeah, he's not only good at karate, he can make maps, apparently. And it's a very tropical style themed map. It kind of reminds me of almost like Moana. I mean, I saw Moana recently, and yeah, those kinds of like tropical islands are exactly what it captures. The assets that we have, I'll take a quick scroll down through here. We have a lot of palm trees, some jacaranda trees, cool, coconut trees, banana fields, because they're going to look good as farms, also by Mr. Miyagi. He's all about the tropics, this guy. We've also got a few parks, some commercial, but mostly we've got a tropical elemental school. That looks elemental, yeah, for wizards. Got a tropical elementary school that looks very, very cool. We've also got a lot of parks, a sacred shrine, tropical house, and I've just added, and a tropical water tower. Just a whole bunch of things to get us started with. Now, we're going to be adding a lot more assets to the pack, so stay tuned for that. And as I add them to the collection, I'm going to be featuring them in episodes. So you can basically see me piece by piece build up a collection and create this wonderful Tropicoco city. But primarily at the moment, all we've got is the residential area, because the first couple of episodes are going to be about setting up a nice little residential neighborhood. After we've done that, we're going to move on to commercial, industrial, and then we'll see where we go from there. But there's some really nice houses here, and I've gone through and I've cherry-picked some of my favorites. Now, we also have a futuristic fire station down here, because I'm going to dot it. There's not enough tropical assets for me to make the entire city tropical, but when I think about like a tropical city, I think about it being super high-tech, super rich, and a little bit futuristic. So yeah, it's going to have like mud huts and super sci-fi tech buildings. Sure, that's a bit of a juxtaposition. And arguably most important is the mods section. So we're going to add unlimited money, unlimited soil, and unlock all, obviously, New Caledonia terrain for the map. Now, the reason why we've unlocked unlimited money and progression is because we want to make this a creative city. We're going to focus on beauty before just trying to win the game. Because when you try and just win the game, it's often very hard to make something that's truly magnificent and awesome. And I don't want to have to keep going back and trashing areas that I put down temporarily just for the sake of the gameplay. We're still going to have cash per week on, and I'm going to try and maintain a very status quo green cash inflow, because a city has to work anyway. People will move out if your city sucks, if there isn't enough trash collection, or the houses will burn down if there's no fire departments. So we need to make sure we make a good city. It's just money won't be an issue. What I found with other cities is that I would spend a long time just AFK while I waited for my money to come in, and I thought, well, why am I doing this? I might as well just add infinite money, because once you get a city that sustains itself, you can leave that on overnight. Well, maybe not, you might get some problems, but you can just leave that on for a while and generate all the cash you'll ever need. So it seems like a bit of a waste. Otherwise, let's take a look at some of these mods then. So we've got building themes, important for making a very beautiful city. 81 tiles, that means we're going to be able to build on every single shred of the map. It's pretty exciting. Automatic bulldoze, because it's a pain to have to bulldoze abandoned buildings. Surface painter for putting down lush beaches. Prop line tool is a quality of life thing that lets you put down lines of props like trees and things. It's pretty cool. Dynamic resolution, it's just a graphics update. Loading screen speeds up the game slightly, and it lets you know what assets are broken, which is really useful. Sun shafts are for graphics. No tree brush slope limit means you can put more trees down. Extra landscaping tools, just being more useful. Prop snapping allows you to stick props to buildings and roads. Just like an asset editor. Okay, sure. I've never used the asset editor, but maybe I should. Prop and tree anarchy. More beautification for graphics. Move it, which is a really useful road tool for moving roads and things around. Destroy chirper because that bird is so annoying. Precision engineering because it makes roads easier to build and helps you be a bit more technical with your roads. Cinematic camera, so you can get some cool shots. And ultimate eye candy for graphics. All right, well, that's the mods and the assets out of the way. Let's get in game and start making Tropicoco. All right, so here we go. The first thing we're doing is purchasing every single tile. Just because we can. It gives us loads more space. I don't think you have to pay tax on the land that you own, luckily, unlike real life. But this is going to give us ultimate maximum freedom. It's going to be pretty cool. So there you go. We've loaded up the map with the custom map theme. All the mods are locked and loaded, and we've got infinite cash and all progression milestones unlocked. So it's time to get truly creative with our tropical city. Right, so let us begin our saga at Tropicoco. We've got these city connections here to start with. Now we've got the whole map to work with. I've unlocked almost every single tile there is. And we could really, in theory, start absolutely anywhere we want on the entire map. But we're going to go with the place that it suggests because it looks like a pretty sweet place to begin with. Now, with the whole map at our fingertips, we don't really need to worry about getting things too condensed, which is great. It means we can put some low-density residential down, which is what I wanted to focus on first. And we're going to have some nice beachfront, low-density residential along this cove. Now, it's important to plan ahead with what you know you're going to be building in future, and there is a railway that comes over here as well. So we're going to try and factor that railway in somehow. It might be useful to keep it cargo, as well as, well, there's 2 railway tracks, so we can have cargo trains and residential trains, I think, or commercial, or, well, passenger trains, that's the one. And the railway line looks like it goes, I mean, it's always good when you start a new map to look at the road connections and see what goes where, because sometimes a map can actually devastate you because the road connections aren't good enough. Sometimes interchanges like this one just aren't up to standard and can get clogged, and if the map is getting clogged before you've even built anything, then you're kind of boned. But this seems acceptable, and we'll try and solve any problems we have later on with some good public transport links. So here we are. These are our connections. One's in, one's out, and it's the Mason Highway. So that's in, and that's out, and that's the railway line. All I know, we're going to wait. We're not going to hook it up yet, because we're going to go beautiful. I want the people of Tropicoco to be able to cycle wherever they want, and I also want to decorate all of the roads with trees. And there's some pretty swanky roads in here with bus lanes, large avenues with bus lanes. How big is a large avenue? It's that big. And this has a bus lane and a normal lane, so it's like a normal road, but it's good if you're going to have a lot of buses going along it, I guess. We're going to delete that though, because we're not for the time being. We've also got large avenues with grass. They look pretty cool. I think they are 2 lanes each way. Now, one of these roads has cycle paths, if I remember correctly. Bicycle lanes. Wow, 6-lane road with bicycle lanes. I would not feel safe on that. Holy crap. Here we are. Now we have a 2-lane road here that's got bicycle lanes. What does it look like? Looks okay. The bicycle lanes will be good because people will get on their cycles, I guess. I've never seen a person cycling in this game. But the other option is to put trees down. However, they're not very tropical, so we're going to dodge those. They do look pretty cool though. Now, I'm a big fan of roundabouts, so we're going to start, I think, probably with a little old roundabout to connect to this highway. So let's get the highway tool. There we are, highway, a 3-lane, one-way road suitable for connecting population centers. Now, we've got precision engineering enabled, which means we get some pretty fancy tools to help us build our roundabout. But since the railway's here, we want to kind of move it a bit away from that, so we've got room to expand the rail system out whichever direction we want it to go in. And we're going to have a nice big roundabout, because I love circles. And we're going to make sure that Tropicoco is super wavy. It's going to be as rippled as the ocean itself. Tropical gem at the center of paradise. Okay, so we want our circle to be in the middle of these 2 highways. So we're going to start here. We're going to go, I think, probably 15 at 85 degrees, maybe 90 degrees. Is that going to be... I don't know what that's relative to, though. we'll go 15 at 85 degrees. And then we'll go 15 over here, 90 degree angle to that. And then we'll try and do this another 2 times. So it's 15 here, and then 15 this way. Aha, and precision engineering is letting us create the perfect circle. 15, and then 15 down this way. And I do believe that's pretty much as close to a perfect circle as you're ever going to get. Now, is 3 lanes big enough for our big roundabout over here? I'm not entirely sure. But I think it probably is, you know? So we're going to come off of this now and hook up to the roundabout. Now, do I want a straight line for this? I'm not entirely sure. Does that look okay? Well, yeah, you know what? That's close enough. But what we can do now is we can move this section of road with Move It. So now we've selected this piece of road, and we can tap the arrow keys, and we get just a superb level of control over our roads until we find something that's absolutely perfect for us. And look at that! So we've got the first roundabout, city connection done. We just make sure the road's going the right way. Now, changing the direction of the road is as easy as clicking on the upgrade button and then right-clicking. Yeah, we want the roundabout to be going the other way, actually, don't we? So that it feels a bit more natural. And since we're left-hand drive, this actually works out for us. And there we go. We're just going to move some of these contact points with Move It to make this look a bit more symmetrical. And this is what we're talking about. This is why Tropicoco is going to be so amazing. It's because we're sparing no expense. Every single detail is going to be trimmed and turned into a perfect symmetrical wonderland. So now we have our city connection. We want some nice beachfront property for our Tropicocans to get into. So let's get to that. The game is still paused, so we're not going anywhere. We don't need to worry about setting up anything just yet, and we don't have to worry about cash, because obviously we have infinite money. So let's go wavy mode and build ourselves some nice beachfront property. Now you can get as close to the beach as you want. It doesn't really matter too much for us, because we've got a decoration tool that lets us put down sand wherever we want it. But what you get when you make a road slightly wavy like this is you get slight gaps between the houses. And while that's not efficient for a truly efficient skyline city, it does give you a little bit of freedom to get a bit more creative. And it keeps kind of like a gap between the buildings, which is pretty good. It means you can decorate the gaps in between those buildings with some trees. Okay, so a nice stretch of beachfront here. Looking good. Now, it's not quite perfectly curved there. It's mostly straight. Oh, this is going to be a nice stretch of road. I like it already. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful. This is exactly what we want. It's not super efficient, but very few things about this city are going to be that efficient. And bam, we have a nice stretch of coast. Now, how are we going to connect this road to the roundabout? Well, let's get ourselves a nice piece of thick road. We want some 4-lane, I think, because we want a fairly big road coming off of this roundabout. Not too big, because this isn't going to see that much traffic. This is just a light residential zone. It's not going to be super taxed as far as traffic goes. But we are going to use some decorative trees. So let's wrap a nice piece of curvy road like that. Oh, that looks quite good. I'm a fan of that. I'm definitely a fan of that. And bam, we have a connection to the outside world. It's got a good connection there, looking solid as a rock. And now let's paint down a district. So this is going to be the Cove. We're going to try and grab all of the residential zone along here. But we're also going to future-proof ourselves by grabbing a bit of the shoreline as well, some of that sand. Bam. So we're going to rename this district, and we're going to call it Tropicoco. It's Tropicoco. There we go. Press enter. Now, the important thing about this district isn't the fact that we're giving it a name and making it all cool and everything. What we want to do is check the policies, because we're all about parks and recreations. Recreational use of marijuana. Sure, why not? That sounds pretty cool. I reckon Tropicoco is going to be a massive stoner town. Now, these guys love to cycle. They love to use the ferries. And I think the blimps that fly over here, they should have some propaganda, some educational information. Now, we've got a city planning, and this is where we encourage biking. Bam, because we have these lovely cycle lanes. So why not encourage people to get on their bikes and use them? We're also going to make sure that this area is nothing but the best. So high-tech housing enabled. Not in my backyard, because a lot of old people are going to live here, because who else can afford to live in the Caribbean? Not a heavy traffic ban, because we can't control that yet, but that's the policies taken care of. Now it's time to think about themes, and we're going to enable Theme Manager, and I've already set up Tropical Residential Low. Now I'm going to show you what's in this at the moment. Not much at all, but if we sort by the custom buildings that we've added, you can see here all of the houses that we could put in this district. Now we're not going to have any houses that are 1 by 1. So we're going to select all the level 2s. So that's a 2 by 1. Looks good to me. 2 by 2. We're going to add some 2 by 2 houses. These look pretty good. Now there might be something that I've added that doesn't look very nice, which we're going to skip. But we should be okay. 2 by 3. Oh, some of these look really nice actually. 2 by 4. Then 3 by 4. Wow, that's nice. 3 by 3. 3 by 2. Tropican, single family home, sure, why not? And 3 by 1, nope. And then 4 by 1, 4 by 2, 4 by 3. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow, look at that place. That's pretty nice. And 4 by 4. So the only thing we haven't added is the banana field farm. But everything else is fair game. But there are some commercial buildings that we've added to the pack, and I'll show you that now. So this is, let me just disable everything here. The commercial districts that we've got are the Tiki Bar. Now, it shouldn't look this red. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but it should be fixed when it goes down. And the diner. But I think we're also going to allow some other commercial buildings here. Now, the nice thing about the Themes Manager is you can take a look at all of the commercial possibilities in the game and cherry pick the ones that you think say, yes, definitely, this is a tropical looking building. And some of these definitely tick those boxes. Some of them are not going to look very tropical, so we'll skip those. That looks like a shop. That looks like a shop. These all look like blocks of flats, to be honest. But none of them look really manky. So we're going to try and stay away from some of the trashy looking places. Problem is, it's like everything looks okay when it gets to level 3 and level 2. Actually, these things look a bit too skinny. Or maybe not, actually. I like a bit of height in my Tropicano. So we'll enable all those shops. These are level 2, and our city's going to be so nice that these buildings shouldn't have too hard a time trying to getting from level 1 to level 2. Ice cream parlor is definitely tropical, so we're going to stick with that. And laundromat, yeah, because when it's this humid, everybody needs to wash their stuff. Chirp cinema, why not? And Central Hotel, let's just say yes. So there you go. We're gonna now. Why have we enabled some commercial buildings? Well, that's because we're gonna put a few shops here and there along this road. Okay, well, we're gonna take a quick break there, but join me next time when we crack on with the rest of the code.